Hey bro, let us solve Leetcode 347 problem, and the name of the problem is top k frequent element. So basically what it is saying is we will have an input array like this, and they will give us another value which is called k. So in this case we have 2 in k. Now k is equal to 2, that means we have to return the 2 frequent element from our input. So in this case here we have 3 most frequent and 2 second most frequent. So we have to return 2 and 3. What if k was 1? Then we would just return the most frequent one, which is 3 in this case, because 3 is 3 times in this array. So our output in this case is going to look like 2 and 3 because k is equal to 2, and we have these 2 most frequent. Okay, you got it. Now let us see how we can solve this problem. We can easily solve it by using hashmap. Hashmap basically works with key and value pair. If you don't know how hashmap works, you can see a separate video on it. I'm not going to explain that here. Okay, we're going to take a hash map. Let's say our hash map name is hash data. And initially it is going to be empty. Like this. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we will run a loop through this. And at first we will come to 1. And we will use this 1 as a key in our hash map. Why am I doing that? You will get that in a moment. So when I'm coming to 1, I will insert 1 as a key in my hash map like this. And the value of 1 is going to be by default 1. Okay. Then I come to number 2. This value right here. Okay. Does this exist in our hash map? No, it doesn't. So insert it like this. And the default value is 1, right? Okay. Then I come to the next one, which is also 2. Does this exist in our hash map as a key? Yes, it does. Okay, then we don't need to insert anything new. Okay, what is its value? It's 1. Oh, then in that case, you are going to increase 1 with it. In other words, we have found 2 times in this input array, right? Okay, we come to next one, 3. Does 3 exist in our hash map? No, it doesn't. Okay, let's add that. Default value is 1. Okay. We come to the next one, 3. Does 3 exist? Yes, it does. Okay, whatever value it has, add 1 more with it. Next one, 3. Does 3 exist in our hash map? Yes, it does. Okay, add 1 more with it. Whatever value you have, add more 1 with it. So that means in the end, we are going to get 2 is 2, right? And 3 is 3, like this. In other words, in our input array, we found 1 time, 2 time, and 3 times, right? Okay. Now what am I going to do is I will take another empty array. I will call it frequency bucket or freq bucket for short. And in this array, I will create some empty arrays. Why am I doing that? You will get that in a moment. Be patient. So in this array, I will take some empty arrays as value. So how many do I want? I want, let's see, what is the size of my input array? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want 7 arrays, empty arrays right here. Why 7? Why not 6? My input size is 6. Why not 6? I will explain to you shortly. So for now, just know that I have to insert whatever my input size is plus 1. So I have 6 elements right here. I will take 7 empty arrays. Okay, 7 empty arrays like this. Okay, great. Now, I will simply run a loop through my hash map. Okay, let's do that. So if I run a loop through my hash map, the first value I will get is 1, the first key, I mean. So what am I going to do is I will look at its value, and this value I will use it as index number for this arrays right here. So for 1, I got 1 value, right? That means I have to go to 1, 0, 1, right? I will use these values as index. So I got 1 for first one, 0, 1. I come to this and I insert what is its key, 1. Okay, I insert 1 right here. Then I come to the next one. Okay, for this key, I have value 2. I go to index 2, 0, 1, 2. What do I have to insert in this? The key number. Okay, I insert 2 in this array. I come to 3. What is the value? 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, what do I have to insert in this index? The key number, which is 3. Okay, great. Let me quickly show you why I am taking 7 empty arrays right here, although I have only 6 inputs, right? So the reason for that is, what if in my input array I had same values? Let's say I have only 2 and I have it like 6 times like this. Let's say I have only 1 values, but they are repeated 6 times. And in my freak bucket, I only took 6 arrays, let's say. Okay, let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 is 6 times, right? So I have to go to index 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait a minute. I don't have any more array left to insert 2 at index 6. That means I should have taken 1 more empty arrays right here. And that's exactly why in our freak bucket variable, we want to take 1 more empty arrays. Whatever input arrays we have, like whatever the amount we have, we want to take 1 more. Looks like our values are sorted. So for example, I have inserted the keys right here. So looks like the most frequent went to the right and second most frequent came to the left. Less frequent values came to left, like this. Looks like it is sorted already. So we are closer to our solutions. All we have to do is run a loop through this. And we are not going to run loop from 0 to the end. We will do from end to the beginning. Why? Because to the end, we have the most frequent value. So we will do this in reverse order. And okay, so let's say we loop through this from the end. If we have any empty array, we don't care, we ignore it. I come to the next one, it's empty, I ignore it. The next one, I ignore it, it's empty. Okay, I come to this one, looks like I have some values. So I want to loop through these arrays, because remember, we could have more than just 1 value in this array. How could that happen? Let's say 2 was 3 times, and 3 is also 3 times. In that case, 2 would also be inserted in index 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So 3 and 2 would be inserted in this same array, right? So that's why we may have multiple values in these arrays. So we have to loop through this. Okay, I loop through this and I get one value, number 3. So I will take a result array like this. It will be initially empty, and this is the array we will return from our program. Anyway, so I loop through this one, I get one value. Whatever value I get, I insert that to my result. Okay, I come to the next one. Okay, this has some values. Whatever value I get, I insert it. Now, do I come to the next one? No, because they said our k is equal to 2. That means we only have to return the most 2 frequent. Okay, so looks like we have found it, 3 and 2. And the problem says it doesn't matter if we return 3, 2 or 2, 3, it doesn't matter. We can return in any order. So our problem is solved. Now let me show you the code. We have this function, and in this function there is a variable called nums that is given to us. If you look at the problem, this nums variable will be given to us, and there will be a k variable which will be given to us. Okay, great. And I have told you that we will take a hash map at first. So I initialize it, and a freak bucket variable which will have some empty arrays. How many empty arrays will there be? What is the length of our nums variable? What is the length? So if we look at this one, we have 6 elements. In our freak bucket, in that case, we want 7. We want one more empty arrays. In Python, we can easily do that. We take one empty array and then we just run a loop, and whatever the length of this variable is, we want one more empty array with it. Now the first thing we do is we want to run a loop to our nums variable so that we can insert values to our hash map. So we run a loop, and we want the v which has the values, right? 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. These are the values. So inside this b, we will have the values, and we want to use that value as a key of our hash map. And what do I want to assign to that key? Well, by default, it would be 1. I have told you, right? It is supposed to be 1. In Python, what you can do, use this get method, which is like saying, well, if you find any key with this same name, with the same key, if you find that in your hash map, then you get the value. But if you don't get the value, the default value is 0. So initially, let's say we are at the first one, 1, and in our hash map, we don't have any 1 yet because this is the first item. So in our code, we're saying, well, in that case, the default is 0, and we are adding 1. Whatever the value we get, we're adding 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1, right? So the next time when we find 1 again, what will happen? Well, this time this will give us not 0 but 1 because we have already inserted 1 in previous iteration, right? So this will give us 1, and 1 plus 1 will be 2. Hope that makes sense to you. If it doesn't, you can go back to the video where I have explained more clearly. Anyway, once this loop is done, we will have all these values inserted to our hash map. Now we want to run a loop through our hash map, and we're doing that to the items. To run a loop to hash map, you can use .items, which will iterate through all the items in the hash map. So we can get a key and value from that hash map like this, like key, value. In other programming, it will be different. In Python, this is how you can get key and value. And in our freak bucket, we want to use value as index in our freak bucket, remember? So we go to that index and we want to append, meaning we want to add the key number like this. And we do this for all the items. So in our freak bucket, we get the most frequent item to the right and less frequent items to left, like I have showed you already. Then we take a result variable. All we have to do now is run a loop through this frequent bucket in reverse order. That is exactly what I have done right here. And in reverse order, we will have arrays inside frequent bucket, right? So in reverse order, I will first come to 3. 3 will be to the most, right? No, wrong. 1 will be to the most because 1 occurs 3 times. So 1 is going to be at index 3. So the first value we will get in our freak bucket is 1. And then we will get 2. So we will add that to our result variable. And if the result length is equal to k, in this case, the k is given 2. So once we get 1 and 2, this will be returned from the loop and our problem is solved.